Yeah. Or no, sorry. No, sorry, it's the other way. Yeah, it's because Jameson is a triple distilled.
Okay. That's a big ass bottle, man. Put it next to your head.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Where you get that at Costco?
Yes.
We are now recording our very first episode of Over Whiskey and Wine. I am your host, Miguel. And next to me, hopefully we got this right, we got our co-host, Tom Rice. How's it going, Tom,
Hello.
over in Arizona?
Really? Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
You missing California yet?
No.
No.
I miss everyone, but I do not miss it there. I do not.
Yeah. No, I get it. Every person, every business person I'm talking to, they're all trying to decide whether or not they want to stick around. I'm like, what? This is the your home of the business. Like, how are you going to pick up and go? And I guess people are willing to start over just to stick it to Gavin Newsom or something.
Well, I mean it because like even years ago when I was researching, starting up, launching one of my business models, testing it out, all that stuff, like it. And I understand that's just business. There's going to be an uncomfortable startup phase. That's
Right.
even if you have full funding and extra capital and all this stuff, there's still that time where it's like, okay, we're not going anywhere, we're not making anything. But yeah, just the costs, like it. And again, I was doing that research, 10 plus years ago. I can only imagine what the cost is like now.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're a business that needs like a location,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I keep seeing things on like social media, and I mean, I shouldn't trust social media so much. I should do some due diligence myself and check what the actual prices are for things. But I mean, we go to In-N-Out enough, we go to the store enough to like see the price difference. 5 years ago,
Oh yeah.
you can take a $20 bill and do stuff. When you were a kid, you can take if somebody gave you a 20, you were rich. But
Oh
now
yeah.
it's like you get 20, like I bet you gets you a quarter tank gas. Like it's insane.
I was thinking about that the other day because, like, I mean, here it's only certain gas stations, but some of the gas here starts with a 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, I
They're paying
can't
like
remember
20
the last
bucks.
time.
So like 20
Huh?
bucks a gallon? I'm just kidding.
Oh god, that'd be bad.
Well, by then the minimum wage will be up and the cost of living will be different. I mean, if probably 20 years from now, I mean that's likely going to happen. But then people make more money per hour.
Right, minimum wage is $55 an hour.
It tried to catch up to livable wages, but right now I don't think it hasn't been caught up since like I started working. And I'm like, of course, when I start working is when everything goes up and minimum wage kind of slowly tries to catch up.
Right.
I always hear like when older people are talking, oh, when I was your age, I went to college, had a full-time job, and bought a house all in the same like 3 years or whatever. And I'm like, cost of living was a lot more manageable back then, right?
Well, yeah, because we've talked about this tons of times. Like, it's not about how much you make or how much things cost. It's like, no, how it's both.
Right.
Because like, yeah, even my grandpa's like, yeah, went to school, have a car, started a family, bought a house. It was a farm on that with a house.
You can have
And yeah,
5
all
acre
within like a
farm.
5-year span.
Yeah. I'm like, congratulations. Try doing that today.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the difference
there's no
between
way.
like cost and how much you can earn.
Right. Yeah.
And oh, go ahead.
Do you want to talk about why we're calling it whiskey over wine? Do you want to introduce what you're drinking, and then I'll introduce what I'm drinking, just so people know, because I already took a couple sips myself.
Yeah.
So, what are you drinking, Tom?
This is a whiskey. No,
Is
I've
it
got
aged?
nope. Just sipping on about a finger of Jameson here.
How many ounces is a finger? Because everybody's fingers are different.
Oh, that's the beauty of it.
Very
Um,
big.
well, no, actually, I found out why. Because yeah, when you measure it out, well, generically speaking,
Yeah.
the bigger the person, the bigger your hands, the bigger your fingers are going to be. So it actually matches your body size.
Uh-huh.
So if like, hey, I'm just going to chill with like 2 fingers, whiskey neat.
Yeah.
That it's supposed to be calculated for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, and I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you're
Right.
still the one asking for how many fingers you want, but
What if you're at a bar and you're being served by a lady, right? Naturally, women have slightly smaller hands, and they ask you how many fingers you want. And you go like, "Can I see your hand real quick? Give me 3
right,
fingers."
just
You know,
hold up your hand.
I'm guessing there's like a measurement that they go off of, not the finger thing, right? Unless that's just what happens when you order a whiskey at a bar.
Well, no, actually, the finger method, um, that's actually, uh, I guess, kind of outdated.
Mm,
Because like when I go to a bar or even like a restaurant and I see
yeah.
a nice bar, that's when I ask them like, okay, can I order in fingers? And usually
Mm.
the waitress even has to go to the bartender to see like
So,
if they'll
this
allow
guy's
that.
hitting on
Like,
me. He's hitting. You
I don't
gotta be
know. He said
careful
something
who you
about
ask.
2 fingers. I
He
don't.
says, he's like, give him 2 fingers, and I don't know. He also ordered the enchiladas. It's just it got really weird.
And he said he wanted them extra moist, and I no, no,
Yeah, he said he wanted them wet. Well, we are a Mexican restaurant.
no. Yeah, sure. We'll give him 2 fingers wet enchiladas.
Yeah,
You
hold
go
the
back to that
enchiladas.
table.
Hold the enchiladas. Anyway, so you've caught somebody off guard, or at least do you do that? Okay, so do you do that because you want a whiskey specifically? You're poor, or do you do that because you want to bring that back into the world, like kind of re-inspire people to be a little bit more not sophisticated, but like a throwback kind of thing.
Well, like if I go to a restaurant or bar that doesn't offer that,
Mm-hmm.
you get a pre-measured amount, and
Right.
I mean, it's not a problem, but usually that pre-measured amount is what I would consider 1 finger, and uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then that just means that I have to buy more whiskeys when the
So
bartender could just be like,
yeah,
yeah, I'll give you 2 fingers, and that's how much whiskey. Like,
yeah,
just like bartenders, how many bubbles come out of the bottle with the
right.
pourer is how many ounces. So it's like most bartenders are just like, no, we'll just charge them for 2, 3 ounces, however much it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
then, yeah, I'll go to another restaurant. They're like, nope, just pre-measured amounts. And I'm like,
you're like
okay, I'll
making a
order
double.
2 more. Right? I'm like, okay, fine. I'll
Leave
just
the
order
bottle.
3
Yeah.
throughout the dinner.
Do you ever one day want to say, leave the bottle? Yeah,
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen it in
absolutely.
movies. I've seen it in movies and TV shows where they order like a whiskey neat and leave the bottle. Like, oh shit, this guy knows what he's doing. He's got troubles. He can handle it, right? As long as he has a little whiskey in him.
Right. I'd say it's more like a bad sign.
No, there was only one time I kind of ordered like back to back, and it wasn't pretty after that. I ordered like I know they're disgusting, but fireballs. Like, I'll take 3, and like, oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
And they're like, they thought I was gonna like take them away with me. I'm like, nope. And I'm like, and even the security guy, like I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing, but even he knew who I was, and I'm like, he's like, oh shit, Miguel's thirsty. And I was just like, okay. Luckily, I left before they all hit me, and I was home.
Oh yeah.
Because when they hit me, oh my goodness, I was like, never doing that again. I thought I was being tough. It was a long day. I came in, I can't ask for the bottle. So I'm like, give me 3.
Yeah.
There's nobody else around me. So they're like, oh, he's going to go take it to his table or whatever. Nope, just right there. 3, And I was just like, I'm never doing that again. And I think that's why
Oh yeah.
I'm not a big fan of hard liquor. because to me it's like, the pour size and stuff like that. It's not a lot because I want to drink something. I want to actually drink, and then beer is too much. It's like you start feeling bloated with beer. So that's why I'm today sticking with Stilson Cellars. They're red, the Genesis from 2021. Shout out to Stilson Cellars for having amazing wine. Yeah, that's what I'm drinking today. Nice. I'm more of a red. There's certain whites I'm okay with, but for some reason I feel like if I go white, they have to be sweet rather than buttery or acidic and stuff like that. And I feel like that to be sweet or not dry.
Yeah, I would say, like I don't have a preferred wine or anything like that, but I definitely know when I want a white or a red. That I can say.
A nice chilled wine on a hot day.
Oh yeah.
You know what? There was a couple summer nights a while ago, maybe I want to say like 2017. I just remember opening up a bottle of wine. I was hanging out with some friends and we were outside. So it was like nice, warmish summer night. But there wasn't a lot of bugs. So it was like enjoyable outside. Summer nights, you don't get a lot of what is vegetation nearby, you get bugs. And there wasn't very, very much. And I remember chilling outside with some friends and I was just drinking my wine. It felt like so perfect. And it was by the pool. I think that's what helped. And I just remember waking up 3:00 in the morning because it was so comfortable out there. I knocked out for like 3 hours and I was just like, I'm surprised no bugs were all over me. I was surprised like no like fucking bird or cat came by and like tried to sleep on me or something. But I woke up and like, oh my God, this is probably one of the best like naps. And I just woke up, went in and like slept on the couch for the rest of the night. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm looking forward to summer nights and I already got a few wines picked out. And is there any specific whiskey you try to stick with or is it just whiskey in general? Because I know there's a filter process to them, right? How smooth and not smooth they are.
Oh yeah. Like there's you've got your single malt, double malt, triple malt. And that basically just means how many times it's been processed or treated, filtered. Right. Now, unfortunately for whiskey, I know like a lot of liquors out there, the more it's filtered, the more times it's filtered, the smoother it's going to be. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it has this really weird effect on whiskey. You start to really get randomness of harshness, I would say. Because like
when you filter it?
Yeah. Or no, sorry, it's the other way. Yeah, it's because Jameson is a triple distilled.
Okay, that's a big ass bottle, man. Put it next to your head. Jesus Christ, where you get that Costco?
Yes.
That's funny. Freaking Costco has the deals going on. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it does. No, just like a good nightcap.
Yeah.
That bottle should last me around 2 weeks.
Okay. Should, unless you have some tough days ahead of you.
Should.
Or fun days. You never know. I feel like there's been times where, we've hung out multiple times and we had, quite a bit of drinks and we felt fine. We weren't drunk. We were just coasting the entire night.
Oh yeah.
And I remember, oh my God, it's just, there's those nights. And then maybe a year later we try to recreate it and it's not the same. It's like, we just can't mimic the same. I don't know if it was the people, the place, the drinks, but it was just, it's very interesting when we like start reminiscing about those times. Like, oh man, remember when we, saw those freaking weird flares outside and then the sky and and like, oh yeah, but that was a good night. We were having some, little known fact to everybody. I used to smoke cigarettes. We were having some cigarettes outside.
We all did. Everyone did.
Cigarettes, a beer. Okay, what did we drink more of? I know we got what's that dark beer? Wookie Jack. There was another one.
Oh yeah, the unfiltered
Firestone. What was that one? Firestone one.
Yeah, they're because 805 is their light.
Yeah,
but we would do the. There's also DBA. It's a
DBA,
darker, richer.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, DBA, and then we got the Wookie Jack to kind of like step it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, that stuff was thick.
Yeah, that was. You can hear gook gook.
You could chew on it. And yeah, atmosphere is definitely a factor too.
Yeah, no, it makes a huge difference. Temperature. I mean, right now is it cold over there or hot?
Oh no, it is cold. We've had snow
Cold.
the past couple days.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I always imagine Arizona not having snow for some reason. So you guys must be in an area where snow.
yeah, that's a really big I would say misunderstanding. Just like when I would tell people I'm moving to Arizona, they all said, "Oh
Mhm.
yeah, it's going to be hot in Phoenix," and I'm like,
Yeah, not in Phoenix.
"There's a whole state." Like, I
Oh,
mean,
you're from
I
Phoenix? No.
yeah, like I get it. It's
Yeah.
Phoenix, but yeah, I'm just like, no, I'm north of Phoenix by almost 2 hours, and we're up in the
Okay.
mountains. There's pines, there's snow, like,
Yeah.
and just
Oh,
the
that's
fact that
funny.
all the movies give you a desert.
Yeah, yeah. They give you okay. So from the movies, the big states that I know give you like a desert or a dry kind of scenery is Vegas or Las Vegas or Nevada, technically as a state,
Yep.
Arizona and New Mexico and Texas. Those are the ones that like if you're there, you're gonna be hot. It's dry and there's flash floods, and then
Right. It's
everybody
gonna be
carries a
desert.
gun, something like that. I could be completely wrong with the gun part, but like it's just very funny because that's the perception I have. And then when people like think about California, they're thinking beach. I'm
Yep.
thinking beach. I'm like, we have all four types of geography here, right? We have the beach, we have the coastal, we have the desert, we have mountains,
Oh
and we
yeah.
have the valley, right? So we got, I mean,
Hmm.
California, I guess, I mean, you're kind of lucky. You can, I'm going to go to the desert, you're still in California. I'm going to go to the valley, you're still in California. I'm going to go to the mountains, you're still in California. I'm going to go to the beach, you're still in California. It's just very insane. I'm going to go, somewhere where there's a lot of humidity. You just go up north in California. It's like,
Right. The Bay Area.
exactly. Bay Area.
Oh yeah. And I mean, yeah, like, and that's the sad part. Like, California is just wonderful. It's beautiful.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it advertises as perfect.
Yeah.
Um, but then yeah, you have to pay that price.
You definitely. I mean, I feel like I've been saying that since I moved out. I think we've been saying the whole we're paying for the scene or we're paying for the location, right? And I feel like since we say it out loud, whoever's in power goes, "Oh, I can charge more."
Yeah,
And
pretty
that's
much.
crazy because like, I don't think you should be. I don't know. There's some things that like yes, there's I mean, I don't know enough about the politics and the taxes and stuff like that for me to like get too much involved. But when I go, why does this cost so much? And the reasons behind it are very feel greedy over needed. It makes me
Yeah.
go like, okay, what else? Here in Paso, it's a new month, right?
Uh-huh.
They're raising the garbage pickup prices by 12%.
Jeez.
Huge. So let's say you're already paying 50 bucks. You're going to be paying 62 bucks or something like that, right? 61, 62, 61. But that's like
Yeah.
$11 that could have gone towards something else. Like now you have to pay it. And on top of that, people were already skipping weeks, not creating as much trash. If anything, that should be like discounted. Like if there's no trash for you to pick up, I think that should be counted for the customer, not the trash
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
You
because
know
they
what I
don't have
mean?
to stop and pick up
Because they
that
don't have to
can.
stop. They're doing everything a lot faster, and it's a mutual respect there. You would assume, but now it's like,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, I remember signing up for pickup because I have a house now, and if the lid is open a certain amount, they measure it per bag, right? So bag, 2 bags,
Hmm.
3 bags, completely open. They're going to charge. I don't know what the max is they can charge, but they'll charge like another extra
Yep.
$10 per bag that they are able to measure. So like you have to squeeze that motherfucker down.
And that's if they even pick it up. Because I know, like
Yeah.
when I was living in Atascadero, if it was like, I mean, they were nice about it. If it was just a little up, they would still take it. But if it was
Yeah.
too full, they would skip you. They're like,
But
no, we're not dealing with that.
isn't that counterintuitive? Isn't that like the opposite of what they should be doing? Because then you have more trash for next week.
Right?
It doesn't make sense. You think they just? I understand them measuring like, oh, you get penalized or whatever. You get charged extra because you weren't. No, you weren't being responsible with your trash or something. You just created too much. Whatever. I like to believe that we should be creating less trash, reuse things, do glass instead of paper cups, all that stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But if they're already penalizing for you if you go over and how full it is, shouldn't it be rewarding you if you go under and less trash made?
Well, no, because that's just a standard now.
It's just crazy.
It's like, no, your can's out there. It could have a plastic cup in it.
Yeah.
Like, nope, we picked up your trash.
Yeah, and the crazy part is, and again, I'm not great with how things are figured out and how they become to be, but I saw somebody posting on Facebook, and of course that's not smart for me to do, but I read it, and they were like, yeah, apparently they sent out letters to everybody who's going to be affected by this, saying, if you don't want this to happen, please let us know in writing.
Oh yeah, but they're not gonna.
Nobody, I never saw anything about a price increase. And that's just me. That's just me. So when I don't see anything, and there's times where like I just throw away like trash, like and stuff like that. And maybe they made it look like spam mail or something. I don't know. That's one of the things like I just don't know, and I don't know enough about it. If I heard that it were going to increase it, I would have been like looking out for it. Checking every single piece of mail or something. That's $11 a month for 12 months. That's $132. That's $132 I could have gone to something else: diapers, food, streaming services, paying for StreamYard. That way we don't have to just use the free account.
Right. Shout out StreamYard.
Yeah, StreamYard, please. If I post this stuff, I'm gonna like tag StreamYard to make sure, like, hey, we're gonna promote you guys. So you get 2 free hours every month. I feel like it used to be more. We get 2 free hours every month. And this recording is powered by. I'm trying to look at the camera. This is powered by StreamYard. This is making this possible. This is not Zoom. This is not MSN Messenger. This is not. What's another one? Skype.
Yeah, Skype.
This is meant for recording these kind of conversations and having fun with it. But StreamYard, 2 free. Try it 2 hours every month. Don't try to create multiple emails to get multiple hours. I'm just going to put that out there. But eventually I'll pay for it.
People who try to pay for products with like, oh, I'll give you a shout out on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Give me this for free.
As a collab or as like a trade or whatever. And I feel like I've seen that before too, where somebody would go to a hotel, not make any kind of reservation. Like I heard, I don't know if it was here in Paso, but I want to say it feels like down in my gut it was, where somebody showed up to a hotel, stated I'm an influencer, and I'm not sure if it's the right word, it's demanded, but it felt like it, where he or she, I can't remember who it was, they demanded that they would be comped in exchange for a shout out of the place. And like, no, we don't do that. You have to pay. But I have, and yeah, it was just one of those things where it got messy on social media, and I saw the conversations, and I'm like, one, I think checking ahead of time would be nice. Hey, I'm going to be in that area. I'm a local, here's my social media outlets. I would love to talk about potentially, collaborating or, an exchange, not show up without a reservation saying, you got to comp me because I'm going to give you guys a shout out.
Yeah. And then they trash it because they didn't get free stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, this place, and that's very much like a Yelp review these days. Like, I'm going to, review you on Yelp and da. And when I found out, like, on Yelp, if somebody does a bad review that's untrue, right? They say they don't like black people or Mexicans or something like that, and it's not true. Like, you can fight it technically. You can tell Yelp, hey, this is untrue, but they will not take it down.
Oh yeah.
They leave it up. They can't. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know it's really messed up right now.
Yeah. So that's why I go to Google, read those reviews. Go to YouTube if they have videos, read those reviews. Like I'd rather do that. I think that's why like social media, like TikTok and Reels on Instagram are more popular. Like if you go find, if you go look, if you're trying to find a place to stay or a restaurant to eat at, I go on social media and find if they have pages. If they have a page, I start going through the pictures and I start reading the comments or I start looking at the videos and I read the comments like, oh, this place is great. This place is great. Like that's where the reviews are showing up now, not Yelp. Probably less on Google. People still do Google because it's kind of built into the ecosystem a little bit. But for the most part, I'm
It's in
on
our
TikTok.
house.
What's that?
Google. It's built into everything now.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's built into everything. Even I think even our iPhones or my iPhone uses Google search engine style, whatever. I'm not sure how that works. I use Google on my iPhone, so I don't even use Safari. So even people who all have iPhones are installing Google Chrome, and they're hey, where to eat near me, and
Oh
then they
yeah.
look at the reviews there. That's normal. Nobody's going on Yelp. Nobody's going on Yelp
No.
right now and going, where do I eat?
Well, and I always laugh because I like when you look at reviews, like there's the 5 stars that say everything is perfect, and I'm like, I'll
Yeah,
take that with a grain of salt. And then you
right.
see the people that like do 1 star, and they're like, I'd give it no stars if I could. I'm like, oh,
You give it a
okay,
star,
then
though.
why are you even leaving a review? Like,
Right.
I can't trust that. So
Yeah.
I usually read like the 3 and 4 stars because those are kind of like someone's like, oh, it
Those,
was really good. I didn't like this aspect of it, but it's understandable. Like,
yeah, they make more sense. If they have something negative to say about the experience or the place or whatever, I do trust more of a 3 and 4 stars because they're taking a little bit more time and consideration on that rating. Somebody
yep.
takes something personal and goes on there and goes 1 star, but I wish I'd give it 0. That means they have a personal situation that does not reflect the business, does not reflect the experience there. It reflects their own personal experience, which is fine. They can vent, but vent to people who are your friends, their family. Don't go on Yelp and try to ruin somebody's
Oh yeah.
business that way. You don't have a voice loud enough like that to begin with. So you just sound
Yeah.
like a little dog barking on the other side of the fence. But if you really want people to hear you, spend more time, take a day to reflect on the situation and then go in there. Because I've seen when I worked at the movie theater and somebody did not like my answers, they would leave. And then within 15 minutes, I got a notification, got a review,
Yep.
terrible review. And I'm like, okay. Unfortunately, this person did not like the options I gave him, you know?
Oh
And
yeah.
it's,
Like
yeah.
yeah. Like when I was at one of my jobs as appliance repair technician,
Mm-hmm.
we were automatically on Yelp. Like it was part of the you know
The technician
rate
or like
rate your technician.
you as a technician or like the company?
No, we had a technician rating.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and that they really wanted to offer like, no, this is your technician. This is what his customers have to say. Like it's
Right.
not just like, oh, this repair company, every technician is bad. Like that, they wanted to change that, which I personally I liked because
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm a perfectionist. I take pride in my work. So when I'm lumped in with like you know all the other guys that are just
Yeah.
clocking in and clocking out, it's like no, I prefer to actually have my own rating. And yeah, there were plenty of times where my customers were like, yeah, we like almost everything is like 5 stars on yours. That's why we requested you, except for like 1 or 2 people who
Mm-hmm.
like give you absolutely terrible reviews. And I was like, well, I mean, if they're recent, I can remember a few clients that like, wanted me to change the color of their refrigerator under warranty or something like that. And I told them I can't. That's
Yeah.
not that's not like I mean, even if you wanted to do it out of warranty, I couldn't. I don't carry paint supplies. Like I don't. I
Yeah.
can't just change the color. Like
And they probably expect you to like go take it back, pick up a new one or something, you know?
oh, I get that all the time,
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. And it's one of those I don't know if they've throughout their life they've asked, because it doesn't hurt to ask, right? Hey, can you do
Oh
this?
yeah,
Hey, can you do that? The worst you can get is a no, and then you move on
yeah,
with your life. But I feel like people like that have gotten too many yeses when they should have gotten no's, and they continue with that pattern. And then once they're told
a
no,
little.
they're like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, like
You know?
and yeah, I'm a true believer in that. Like especially when it comes to appliances, we all have a house full of appliances, and they sit there for
Mhm.
years, and they just do their job. And then
Right.
once they break, that's when a lot of my clients are like, I don't know what this thing does. I don't know how it works. I don't know what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a big believer in like, no, you can always ask the question.
Right.
Um, like I think I've talked about this before, but it's like, no, like I don't care, who you are, how old you are. If you ask me how your refrigerator makes ice,
Yeah.
I'll answer it. But then when you start arguing with me on why you need a water line connected to your fridge in order to make ice, that's when it's like, okay, I can't, I can no longer help
That's when
you.
you put your glasses and you're like, "Sir."
Yeah, no names, but yeah,
Oh,
I've had a few clients who are like, oh, well, I didn't know I was supposed to have water hooked up to it, and I'm like, well, okay, that's why you don't have water out of the dispenser, and that's why you don't have ice. And then most of them went, oh, okay, can you just install one?
yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm not a plumber. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And and I think that's one of the messy things that starts happening. Unless I don't know if there's a company out there that handles all of them at once, but from what I noticed, it's everybody separate. You got a plumber, you got the technician for the actual appliances. If wall has to be patched up after the fact that the plumber got into it, you need to get somebody for the wall. If it goes beyond that, you're looking at landscaping. If it affected outside, it's just everybody. There's little bits and pieces of jobs that needs to be taken care of. And I'm like, can you imagine one person like wears many hats and just has a crew or has a like the A team? Everybody's
oh,
got something.
yeah, just
Having
a
that
team
kind of
of like
company. Can you
each
imagine?
one.
Call it the A team of of housing, A team housing or something. And you have one technician for every single little thing. You just take care of it. Oh, I don't do plumbing, but let me call my partner in crime, and he's going to come out. We handle this together. Obviously, you're going to charge for those certain things, but I'm just putting it out there in the world. If anybody wants to create a team like that, a team of, I feel like it's another movie quote that's happening right now in my head. It's like a team of, oh my God, I'm thinking like,
A team of
oh, what,
specialists.
a team of specialists, misfits. Is it misfits? Is it still misfits for A team? Team of misfits, something like that.
Oh,
I
I
feel
can't
like
remember
on like
now.
the tip of my tongue. There's just something I remember seeing a movie or shows like it's a team full of misfits and and then it could be A team. It could be some other one. It
That
could be
sounds A team.
losers. Yeah. I don't know,
Well, and
man. Anyway, yeah.
that's actually kind of the sad part too, because like me, I repair appliances, but just to take care of my customers, I learned enough about home wiring, home plumbing,
Mm,
all that kind of stuff to at least say like, okay, I've checked your machine, I can't find any problems, but what I can say is I have concerns about the outlet and the kind of voltage it's giving me. So that way I'm not just passing the buck.
right.
Because then yeah, they have to call someone else, wait 1 to 2 weeks, they come out, they go, oh well, no, it's the appliance, and then they have to call us back, and then rescheduling all that kind of stuff. I want to
Mm,
avoid that as much as possible for my customers. But then I found out because I had the same question, like a jack of all trades, like why
mm.
aren't there more jacks out there? And I found out jacks usually end up becoming contractors.
Like a general contractor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're certified in multiple things and you have the
Mm,
skills of multiple facets of building a house, but then
hmm.
you're not. You get more benefit out of becoming a general contractor.
Yeah. And you hire different companies. You just outsource it.
Yep, and then you just supervise and help.
So I guess people make their own teams in a way. You know.
Yeah, can you
Right.
imagine though, like a house team and they have to wear the uniform of the A team?
Oh yeah. The A team. They show up in a utility event to begin with.
No, a tank.
I'm just
We'll
saying,
need a tank.
yeah. Here in Paso, there's a plumbing company that looks like a freaking ambulance. Have you seen it around here? Like emergency plumbing or something like that. It looks like an ambulance. So every time it drives by, I'm like, that's not an ambulance. Like liars. But I imagine that, but A team. That'd be kind of cool. Nah, that would be really, really cool.
Right, they have to play the music as they pull up.
Yeah. So let's change gears here, so that way we talk about multiple topics while we have the 2 free hours through StreamYard. So I know, I don't know. It feels like it's sizzling, but the drone sightings.
Ooh.
I haven't heard too much of it.
Yeah.
And it feels weird that like for a good week, 2 weeks straight, there was just all these questions, and now there's not a lot of questions, and now there's fire, and now planes are crashing into each other, and I'm just like, all very like, I don't know. And the conspiracy in me starts going like, what is going on?
Oh, dude, yeah. Look who you're talking to, man. Like, I'm the crazy one.
You're just like, conspiracy.
I have the receipts. It's on the walls. It's all mapped out. No.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is like, and then I started going, I was like, okay, so drones started showing up. We started, there was a lot of sightings. Not if they, I'm not sure if they did get one or catch one or something, but when they were described, they were described like the size of a SUV. Very
big.
Very fast, very sophisticated. It's definitely not someone, it's not a civilian drone or anything like that. And now they're gone. It feels like they're gone. And then all of a sudden fire started happening. And I'm just like, okay. And then you start hearing about people with blowtorches in the area almost starting a fire. So it was almost on purpose. And I'm just like, what? Okay. So in my head, I'm like, okay, drones and everywhere. Did the drones give data or gather data on what can and cannot happen as far as scenarios to throw people off, is what my head starts going at, and get other agendas pushed forward.
Well, a lot of people are, a lot of people are actually upset because there was the months of confusion. What are these? Why are there so many?
Before you go, when you say a lot of people, where can they find those people? Like to confirm, like, a lot of people are saying what? From where? Like, are you looking on TikTok? Are you looking on
actually just Facebook? News networks. A lot of news networks just keep on getting like the calls, like, hey, here's another video of drone at night. And because I just prefer to watch Rav for my news. Again, I take it all with a grain of salt, but and even they were discussing it. I think even like popular podcast, Joe Rogan, they're discussing the drones. And that's and it's actually like national news because the latest press conference, I do forget her name, Secretary of the Press, the new one.
Chick?
Yeah, she came out and she said, we can't explain why this wasn't stated earlier, but no, these were FAA drones.
Huh.
And they were, and they said, according to the readings for these FAA drones, it was just like topographical mapping. Like it wasn't, it wasn't spying.
It's like a Google car driving around.
It's pretty much, yeah, because that a lot of people were concerned. Why is it in a field? Why is it near a base? All this stuff, and according to the reports, it was just land research, and that's why they kind of came and went.
Yeah,
because they got their data, so they were like, we're done.
Right.
But a couple of reasons why people are upset is obviously why weren't we told this when we were asking? Clearly, it should be very accessible information. not the
Right.
information itself, but just like the FAA saying, "Hey,
Why wait? Why wait so long? Right? Why wait so long if this is if it wasn't anything like detrimental to like national security? Like
yeah,
if it was something that they were just routinely doing or added to the routine, like what? Why? And then, that's where that's where the questions start coming. It's like, okay, why? And then
yeah," and then
who's gonna answer
the new president's just like, "It was nothing.
it?
It was nothing. It's fine." And everyone's like,
It reminds me of Dave Chappelle in the skit where he was president. They were asking him with like questions on the press briefing or something.
yeah.
He's like, "Hey, what do you have to say about the oil?" I was like, "Oil? Nobody's cooking. What do you mean?" He's like totally lying up his ass, out of his ass. He's just like, "No, nobody's
Yeah,
cooking. You smell any
who
cooking?
say anything about oil?"
Run!" No, no.
So yeah, I'd say there's still a lot of people looking into that, but yeah, according to the last press release, just FAA research. Now, as far as all the disasters, yeah, that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
Yeah, I have my iPad right here. I can actually look up what happened to the drone sightings. Let's see what Google tells us right now. Let's see if it tries to push us a certain way. What happened
Yeah, Google's scary, man.
to drone sightings? All right, so let's see. Get away.
Oh, I know. Like, do you know how hard it is to find public information on all of the Biden pardons?
Yeah.
Like, and like, I just want more information on that because just from my understanding of government and law, you can't do a lot of the things that Biden did with the pardons. And I'm just trying to get more info, and everyone's just like, "Nope, he pardoned people. That's it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, I know there are lots of senators who are fighting his pardons because they're not valid."
Yeah, there was I don't know how the pardon things work, to be honest. And it bugs me a little bit that the last week or two that a lot of that was happening. Hold on, I'm trying to get anyway. So I'm on NBC News. I don't know if that's a good trusted source, to be honest. But
not one that I trust. No.
No. Okay. Are you okay if I read it at least?
Oh no, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So this was January 27th of this year by Marlene Lenthang and Sam Brock. I don't know if that's going to be a thing. So more mysterious drone sightings have been reported in the Northeast in a strange surge after the Federal Aviation Administration lifted its temporary flight restrictions following thousands of reported drone sightings late last year. The sightings last year reported in November and December in New York, New Jersey, and other nearby states prompted airport closures, led to arrests, and triggered calls from lawmakers and the FAA for more oversight. So obviously they were doing something in response to seeing all these drones, thinking it was civilians, right? Or at least private companies or something like that, because obviously it wasn't government.
Yeah.
So they were trying to stop, at least narrow it down a little bit. So I'm guessing I'm guessing if you had a personal drone and you went out there when this was when they started to tell people don't do it, you probably got arrested and fined,
Yeah.
But now that the restrictions are lifted, I mean, people are all willy nilly again. So it goes to it's like it's going to happen. People are going to go back out after the bans are lifted. Which, by the way, this is off topic, but today I saw on TikTok where it says in response to the raising of the tariffs for Mexico, don't spend money today or something like that. I'll have to look it up, but it's like Mexicans don't spend money to show how much effect the Hispanic community spends. See how much money that pulls out of the economy, which kind of sucks because one, and I might get in trouble for this because I'm Mexican and people are like, you're not on our side. But the reality is like, don't make it one day, make it a week. Because the reality is you spent more money yesterday to prepare for today. And then you spend more money tomorrow to make up for today. Make it a week. I'm just saying. I'm just going to put that out there. Anyway, back to drones.
Well, because just another perspective that I thought of while the drone investigations were happening.
Hmm.
I know a lot of hobbyists and people who use drones for work.
Yeah.
They're not going to send out these $6,000 drones for no reason. And
Right.
usually, if you have a more expensive drone, you're going to follow like local air laws. You're going to follow property boundaries. Like all of the annoying misbehaving drone hobbyists have like
Right.
maybe a good $200 drone.
Yeah.
But like from the size and scale of all these things, I'm like, no, like that even goes beyond hobbyist kind of like,
Yeah.
I know those people are like, no, like it costs money to use my drones, so it's like,
Mhm. Oh yeah. I
it,
mean, yeah.
so I was like, it doesn't fully make sense to me that these massive drones would be out there for um, no purpose, which again goes into the is it enemies of the country
Right.
conversation.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the last press conference I saw, they said no, that's why the nearby airports were shutting down because it was the FAA that was like, no, we have to shut down because we got this going on over here real quick.
Right.
It may have been a little segregated, but it was them doing some sort of ground research.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as social media, I haven't seen too much of it, but I mean, the article I just read came out like 6 days ago, 8 days ago. So I'm like, I guess there's still something going on. But now
Oh
that we
yeah,
said it out loud, the algorithm is going to show us more of that stuff. I'm
right.
serious, dude. So the other day, this is just changing subjects again. The other day, Crystal was saying something about like cleaning her ears, or she mentioned something about seeing something on TikTok where that you can it has like a camera or a light and you can like clean your ears
Oh
a
yeah,
little better and stuff like that. And I told her straight, I was like, look, watch, that's all I'm going to see for the next like day on social media or on TikTok at least. I didn't type it
right.
in. I did not type it in. I didn't type it in anywhere on my phone. And guess what
Hmm.
started to happen? Started
Hmm.
seeing things for ears. We have mold, or we were dealing with mold and moisture in our bedroom. So we started. I bought a moisture moisture whatever detector, like
Hmm.
months ago, and now I'm able to use it. But we started talking about moisture, and guess what started showing up on TikTok?
Oh
Here's
yeah,
this $150 infrared heat signature thingy that you can look for moisture. And I'm just like, oh, that's cool, but I never typed
dehumidifier.
it in. Yeah. So it's very interesting. You start talking about these things, and it's like the reality is your phone's mic is being used. One
Oh
way or
yeah,
another.
and yeah, someone actually proved it because if you dive into the settings of your phone,
Mhm.
I don't know much about Apple phones, but
Yeah.
as for the Samsungs, there's a lot more setting options,
Yeah.
and you actually have to go in and find it because it's not properly labeled as spy software. but
Yeah.
you actually have to go into deep settings into your phone and like turn that off. You can actually turn that off,
Yeah.
and it's
And
yeah, it's scary.
and it's all connected, especially when you're on your home Wi-Fi. It's all connected, so they're all sending each other signals.
Oh yeah,
So we see something on TV as well, and you're like, yep, our phone was on us when we said something along those lines. You know,
that's why
it,
there's always toilet paper on my feet.
because I'm talking a lot of shit. Anyway,
Toilet paper. I
toilet
need the
paper,
toilet paper.
or let's say, Crystal watches maybe one show in Spanish, and then I go on Disney, I go on Paramount, I go anywhere else on another app, and guess what? Fucking ads they're showing me in
And
Spanish,
Espanol.
and it's and I'm just like racist mother, But it's the fact that we watch it on another app, and I don't think the app should be talking that way to each other, to be honest. But we watch it on another app,
Uh,
and all of a sudden we're
uh,
getting Spanish advertisements,
Actually, I
on
would even
TV.
argue using your camera too, because
No, don't
I
tell me
mean, you
that,
and I have been
man.
friends a long time, and you know how many people mistake me for being Hispanic.
Yeah,
And
he's
like
Filipino. Come on, guys.
and yeah, like on TikTok, on Instagram, all this stuff, I can't say constantly. I will very often get like a Spanish feed, and I'm like, what? At what point did the spy software think that I wanted something in real Spanish? Like again, I did high school Spanish. I can kind of communicate, but this is like native Spanish speaking channels, and I'm like, why?
Mm, yeah, yeah. No, there's a lot of questionable things that happen after we say certain things out loud. That's why I
Oh yeah,
think it's you say it's like that's why I like to talk about food a lot. So that's why it shows me food. I get my it's kind of like creating a tempting myself. Like I'm gonna talk about Taco Bell gives you diarrhea. I'm gonna talk about Jack in the Box. I'm gonna talk about Carl's Jr. I want to talk about even Panda or something like that. And you start getting those ads. I'm like, all right, cool. And then you even on top of that, you might even get a coupon or an offer. So talk about things you actually want to eventually buy.
right.
You
Talk
know,
about the deals.
yeah, talk about the deals. That way they come up, and you're like, I'm gonna take advantage of this deal. But yeah, it's just one of those things where like, yeah, I'm not careful with what I say, but it's just a weird coincidence when it does pop up, for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, like my ex. We were I think we were just at like a hardware store. I think we were just like doing some sort of project,
Mm-hmm.
and this was like 2 years into us dating. And yeah, the first time she ever mentioned like, oh, I think it'd be fun to get like a bunny with like a coop,
Mm.
and
First red flag, got it. Okay.
right. But yeah, but she only said that word once, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or she said bunny, coop, all that. She said one sentence, done. We get back home, and like the first three advertisements were bunny
Playboy,
poops.
Playboy. Just kidding.
Cute?
It's like, damn it, fucking microphone listening into our conversations. But in reality, it was something else you were talking about with another guy.
Well, there was even that time you I think it was mostly your friends. We all went out to dinner,
Uh-huh.
and then we all happened to be on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
just like updating or posting pictures, and then we all like showed our Instagrams next to each other,
Yeah.
and like all of our advertising was different, all of the
Mm-hmm.
suggested reels were different,
Yeah.
and you can kind of understand it's targeted,
Yeah.
but at the same time it's like, so even advertisers are filtered per user. Like
Yeah.
when you actually think about the scope of that.
Mhm. Yeah. So I think advertising formula behind it is, I feel like it's super simple, but at the same time complicated in the sense of it can be, what's the word? It's not like you're thinking too much about it. It's more of a, you're analyzing too hard, or you're worried about it too much. Because when you say
Yeah,
something out loud and you see an ad for it, you're saying, "Oh, somebody's spying on me." But
yeah, yeah,
the reality is McDonald's is not spying on you. They're literally just paying to put the information in front of you. They don't know who it's going to.
very
They
true.
just literally
Yep.
blindly put the information, and then Facebook, TikTok, they're the ones who put it in your face. So if you get mad at anybody, you get mad at Facebook and TikTok,
Yeah.
not fast food, who, you know, who just are literally paying. And I've even thought about advertising like the Past Rebels podcast studio on Hulu, because you're allowed to pay for ads. You're allowed to
Ah,
go on
there you go.
Hulu and create your own ad, because I've seen local ads here, like a construction or Paso Robles Ford or something like that, because they're doing it too. It'll show
Yep.
up. It'll show up less consistently because they're paying for a certain amount of reach.
Yeah.
So if somebody else pays a bigger amount of reach and you're saying it out loud, TikTok, Facebook, Google, they're hearing you. They'll be like, oh, okay, show more of this, because he's obviously we're trying to connect these people and make the bigger bucks happier, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Like well, like I mentioned, I watch Rav, and I like most of the hosts, not all of them, but it's really funny because I actually like kind of monitored this, but after the election, and we have Republican majority, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I started to see them more and more like, oh, and here's our message from our sponsor, and then they have to say the name of the sponsor like 6 times
Oh,
before they
okay.
can like end their podcast or their channel,
Right.
and I'm just like, so now they're getting more money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like I like rap, but I'm like, kind of like when you become what you are trying to fight, kind of thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys are getting bought now. Like,
you kind of feel like, you feel like there's a sold out aspect to it.
yeah, I mean,
But
you got to make the money, but
yeah, at the same time, they need to make money. They need to make a living. It's just one of those things where, like, even if we get to that point where, like, we want to make some money on this podcast show, we would literally have that conversation with whoever wants to pay for it. Let's say we have a lot of viewers, we can charge more per episode or whatever. And then at the beginning or the end or the middle, depending on what the placement is, we can say, this episode is brought to you by Stilson Cellars, located in Paso Robles, California. Go visit them for tasting. And then, if they were involved in the ad more, we'd include I literally slide a video of theirs. Like, hey guys, thank you guys for listening to
my whole podcast,
Over Whiskey and Wine podcast. Over Whiskey and Wine podcast. Make sure
that's part of the agreement. We have to have it.
Yeah, every time product placement in movies and TV shows. It's probably one
labels
of the labels out, and you can tell because when they have a beer on a show, they'll like literally just cover it and drink the beer. But when the label or the company, they paid money to be on there, they show label and way too much for comfortability. Like, why is this guy fucking holding the beer a certain way?
Right, he's like the whole time
that way. Yeah, Truman Show, good example movie. It's like, oh, that's crazy. Not as crazy as these cocoa that I use for my coffee, but something crazy like that.
Or like on Talladega Nights when he sold his windshield space.
Oh, I don't remember that part. Windshield space?
Yeah, he had Wonder Bread put on his windshield.
Oh, yeah. But how can he stay out of that? I don't think he can, Rob. Yeah. No, that's funny. People go crazy. I remember I was involved in a, what's it called? What's the short term is MLS? Multi-level company or something, multi-level marketing, MLM, multi-level marketing or something, pyramid scheme.
Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say it doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, we'll look at it right now. It's like what's I think I want to say multi-layered, multi-level definition. Let's do that. What's the difference between MLM and pyramid scheme? Okay. A legitimate multi-level marketing company emphasizing reliable products or services. A pyramid scheme uses products or services to disguise its quest for collecting money from investors on the bottom levels to pay other investors further up the pyramid. So I was in a pyramid. It's hard to tell because I didn't feel like a pyramid scheme because I did believe in the product and the product does help. Right. And that was where I believed in. The way it became a pyramid scheme is when I asked them, like, can I learn more about the product? And they go, oh yeah, we'll teach you, but go ahead and get 3 people under you so we can get you on the next level up. I'm like, whoa. I signed on because I want to sell the product. I do not want to recruit people. And that is where it became a pyramid scheme to me. Anyway, I remember one time I went to like a conference for one of them, and this guy in the parking lot had a decked out car, all printed logos and QR codes and everything. It was like prepaid legal, like everything. He's just a freaking a walking advertisement for his little business, right? Within the company. And it just dawned on me. The funny thing is that company changed its name down the road.
Every 2
It
years.
went from Prepaid Legal to Legal Shield. And this guy had Prepaid Legal just plastered all over his car. And I'm just like, oh, damn.
Well, with the money he was getting, he could probably reskin his car, no problem.
Oh yeah, I mean he was doing a lot of work. So I mean maybe he got people. It's one of those things where like they try to teach you or show, like, you know, one of the examples they show you, and it's good for certain things, but in a pyramid scheme, ask 100 people, get 99 no's, but you eventually get that one yes, and you just keep repeating that step over and over and over.
Oh yeah, that's
speaking, you'll get yeses.
Yeah, that's sales and marketing right there.
Yeah, you talk to people, and you know when people used to go door to door, when people are outside of Walmart, you know, not everybody knows exactly what they're signing for. Oh, this is to stop you know, this vote or whatever. I don't know what.
Yeah, whatever the topic of the week is.
Yeah, for whatever it is. Like, oh yeah, charging 10 cents per plastic bag. Yeah, I don't want that to happen. So you sign the fucking paper or something like that.
Yeah.
But then you don't realize you just signed something that's going to also spam you for the next 7 years.
Right. Have you seen that joke about the whole plastic bag thing?
What's the joke?
So, you know, we want to get rid of plastics. Then tell me why I walk into the store and grab a lettuce that's wrapped in a plastic bag, buy some bread that's wrapped in a plastic bag, buy ketchup and mustard that are in plastic bottles, buy meat that's wrapped in plastic and styrofoam, and then you're going to be mad at me as the customer for wanting a plastic bag.
Yeah.
Like they are all like plastic.
It's not only that. Let's say they're charging the store money to provide plastic bags now because there's a tax on it, right? There's some sort of charge to it.
Well, the store has to purchase the bags, yeah.
Yeah, and then they pass along that price to you, which is funny because the store would have to buy the bag to begin with before this whole thing started happening. But now, remember, they distract you with one thing and then they go, oh, this is why we're charging you now for the bag, even though it was included before. And that's where that's where it feels greedy rather than economic or like eco-friendly. It feels greedy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like the whole straw thing felt like it was a good goal, a good end game there for straws.
Because, good intentions.
Good intentions. But then you realize how much more plastic they use to make the lids sippable.
Or the full plastic cup for iced coffee.
Yeah. And I'm just like, wait. I could have used this cup and straw multiple times. I do. I've used the straw and cup multiple times, but now I use the cup once or twice. I feel like I used it less if they're sippable because like I'm not gonna, I don't know. There was something different about a sippable cup lid. And it just felt like, and then you see the lid and you're like, it has way more plastic material on it because they have to add the grooves and the hole and just, it's a give and take. I think, and that's why it comes back down to everything that I'm like always looking at is like, if they really want to make a change, make the change. Don't add band-aids to it. Like today, February 3rd, that's the big day that everybody's saying, don't spend money. Don't spend money the next 3 days too, 4 or 5 days. Really, really make the economy hurt and let them know like this is what's happening. One day doesn't do anything. You work out for 1 day, what's going to happen? Nothing. You stop eating for 1 day, what's going to happen? Most likely nothing.
A little hunger.
A little hungry. You'll be hungry. Next day you like overcompensate because you didn't eat the day before,
Right.
But like really think about it. Like I've seen people go on a water fast or like just drink water for like a week or something.
Yeah.
So your body has the opportunity to use up that stored energy that you've been carrying around for years. and you can use it up within like a week. It's the craziest thing. But because your eating habits, you're not letting your body use the old energy. It's using the new. You know, and it's just that goes down to like the whole nutrition part. But like I'm just saying, like if you really want things to work the way you want them to work, there has to be a little bit more consistency on a longer period of time rather than one day.
Yeah.
Granted, if it's nationwide and everybody does do it, there might be a little pinch right there. You know, there'll be some effect for sure. But you never heard
then the
of
plastic companies would lose.
Yeah. And you never heard of a boycott or a sit-in happening. Oh yeah, from this time to this time. They sat in there. They boycotted for longer. One day of not buying hot Cheetos. One day of not eating fast food is not, and like we have food at home, so we can take 2 days ourselves, 3 days, whatever.
Yeah.
But the reality is on day 4, I'm gonna have to buy extra food now. Or the day before, I bought extra food. So it's just figuring out that balance and how you're going to make that change that effect happen. It's a larger protest than what we think it is.
Well, like for someone like me, that's not even really the core problem. It's even knowing what you're fighting for.
Right.
Like I've never heard of. I didn't hear about the no purchasing on today.
Now you're going to hear it a lot on TikTok since we said it out loud.
I have been seeing the mass protests in California.
On the highway and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the best example is in Europe when massive amounts of people were blocking the streets to protest crude oil.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, okay, you like, I'm going to censor myself. You have to be the dumbest people because you're
we're having technical with you guys. We just lost a sound. Tom, can you say that one more time and hopefully it comes through?
No, that was my censorship. I was saying it.
Okay, let's figure this out. Let's figure this out now because we want this show to be true and honest. And if people don't like us, people don't like us. If people like us, they like us. Do we want to censor ourselves, or do we want to be completely open to what we think and feel and what our opinions are? And obviously, if we're wrong, we're wrong. We figure it out on the way.
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you want out of this podcast show?
No, I would prefer it to be completely open. Because like I've been joining TikTok lives quite a bit actually while I'm job hunting.
Yeah.
Just for fun, and yeah, like the amount of things that you still get in trouble for.
Yeah.
Like you know what? I'll start with this. Everyone has to use the word unalived now, and I'm like, okay, you know, you can say it as nicely as you want. That person was murdered. That person was killed.
He dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Like,
blood everywhere. Ran over. You saw one bits and pieces. I don't know what happened there.
We're adults.
To be honest, I don't know if it's real. Like, I need to see. I guess I need to dive into that and be like, okay, who is saying it and getting censored? Because I haven't seen anybody physically censored at the moment.
Well, no, it's been rampant. Because like on one live that I was on, a guest said drugs, not what do they say? Schmugs?
Paraphernalia.
Yeah. They have to. They can't use the word drugs
or level 3 substance.
And he, well, as the host, he was like, okay, you know, you have to watch what you say. We just got a flag.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And
they like in real time they got flagged.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and it's hard too because people who are just watching the live can flag the host.
Yeah.
So, like it's not an automated system. I would say, like, if you don't have haters in your chat, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you use the wrong word, or even if they don't like what you're talking about, they can flag you.
Mm, I didn't know
And
that. And it's crazy. While you're live in real time.
yeah,
Huh.
and a guest too. A guest said it, but they flagged the host for having a guest who used the word drugs, not schmugs.
That oddly feels like Big Brother looking over your shoulder.
Oh, extreme. Like like I know, like there was the whole TikTok scare. We have it back, but the
Yeah.
people who moderate it are still
Mhm.
extremely sensitive.
Yeah.
Extremely sensitive. But no, yeah,
Interesting.
I would go for a completely open discussion, because like I said, we're fucking adults.
There you go.
Like if I
Yeah.
can't use the correct word from the dictionary, like
Mhm.
I even discussed this in a TikTok live. I was like, no, there's a word in the dictionary that's
Yeah.
it's verbicide. The word
Right.
is verbicide, and it is the intentional destruction of words.
Mhm.
So, like, yeah, you're trying to be nice about it, but you're also taking away from the severity of the
Yeah.
discussion.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like,
That I think adding any kind of censorship to just a regular conversation. Now, how things are said, that's a conversation all on its own as well. You know, you
oh yeah,
have to have these conversations. If you're constantly saying, "Oh, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can do this," you start feeling like maybe there's nothing I can do, and
and well,
that's a
I
scary
would say that's
feeling
the
for
goal.
kids growing up. That's a scary feeling for kids growing up when they're being told you got to express yourself. No, I can't.
Yeah, like that. Actually, I've been leading up on studies on how that is causing these changes in
Mm-hmm.
children's growth, um, mostly psychological. But like, the generation before us and our generation, I would say we were taught, like, no, love yourself, be
Right.
honest,
Mm-hmm.
with yourself, be honest with others, love yourself for who you are. You're fine just as you are.
Right.
And now you have this whole generation that's like, no, you could be everything but this, and we want you to express yourself while being censored.
Yeah.
Like, the you you can't.
Yeah.
Like, it's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, of course, there's being rude. You don't want to be rude,
Right.
especially if you have a certain type of demographic audience or something like
Yeah.
that.
I
But
think being considerate, empathetic,
yeah,
showing empathy. Those are the big ones for sure that will help the world go round. But the moment you feel like you're being attacked, and I think I mean, it's two things that are happening at once. One, you're being told what you can't do anymore, so it's hard to know what you can do. And two, that makes you into a person that is not confident to be able to express themselves freely, right? Even though you want to.
yep.
And I think that's why like podcasting and software like StreamYard that gives you 2 free hours every month. StreamYard, powered by StreamYard. Anyway, that's why like these things are happening, right? These things are popping up. Softwares, podcast shows where people are they're allowing themselves to be expressive, whether it's just audio, whether it's video and audio, whatever the case is, but they're allowing themselves to be free a little bit. And with that, the people who want to listen will listen. The people who don't can just switch to another channel. And that's it.
Yeah,
The moment we start paying to be on people's faces, that's when, sure, I think they can get mad. If they see an ad of us talking about drones, if they see us talking about unalived or whatever, being forced to watch as like a spot, yeah, get mad at us. That's fine. That's okay.
well,
That's justifiable. But if you're actively looking to go find somebody to be mad at, there are other issues at work there.
yeah, that's a you problem. That's not
Yeah.
anyone's podcast. That's not anyone's channel feed. Anything like that.
Don't get me wrong. There's some people that get really, really popular really, really quickly. And I wonder why the hell they get popular so quickly. This guy's a fucking racist. Well, how is he popular? Because there's other racist people in the world. I get it. Once it
Uh,
starts becoming an issue is where they start acting on it, right? And that's
Yeah.
where now, they actively do things to stop other people from prospering or doing anything that they want to do. And that's where you run into those issues where stop it. Don't do that. You can
Yeah.
talk as much as you want, but the moment you fucking cross somebody in line at Albertsons because you feel like you deserve to go first, we have issues,
Yeah.
Not that it happened to me. I'm just, just saying that as an example. Somebody would have been hurt.
Well, and like my biggest thing is like I keep on saying like we're adults having a discussion. This is not directed
Right.
towards children.
Mm-hmm.
But like just imagine, someone going into court for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to use adult language.
Yeah.
Like if you're being addressed by a police officer, they're going to use adult language. If you're going into a job interview, they're going to use adult language.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can sit there and say, "Oh, we're going to change all that," but it's like, okay, but you can't have that mainly like Law and Order. You can't have Law and Order if you're trying to care about people's feelings. You just can't do it.
Right.
Like people's feelings or sensitivity just cannot apply to Law and Order.
No, I think yeah, that's an interesting topic. I mean, that I think that's taking us to a different topic there, because that's going to be a whole other conversation for sure. Because
No, yeah, sorry, that was an example.
yeah, it's because I mean I can think of multiple times where you and I would talk to law enforcement, and the encounters that we did not look for, we were treated very much like criminals.
Oh yeah,
and then the encounters that we did look for, we were treated as best friends.
yeah,
and it's just because who approached who. And that's the weird dynamic. We'd be hanging out outside late at night, and literally the police officer was ready to fucking shoot it out if it happened.
rolled up hard. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm like, what are you doing? I was so confused because there's nothing on our end that we did that goes, oh, we have a weapon or something.
Oh yeah. Actually, I saw a joke about that.
Skin, yeah. But because I honestly think because the color of the skin or the way we looked had a huge impression. But if we went up to an officer and was like, hey, officer, how's it going? It would have been a different story. Unfortunately, somebody called and said, hey, there's these guys. Hey, somebody called.
To be fair, we were kids at 3 a.m.
We were over 18. We were fine. We were adults. We can handle ourselves. Unfortunately, there's other adults that don't like noise at 3 a.m. for some reason in downtown
when they should
Park.
be asleep.
They should be, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess, if you guys want to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning, go to Vegas, Hey,
oh yeah, I remember that cop. Yeah. What are you doing?
Well, we're just hanging out. I mean, we obviously don't want to keep a small, quiet neighborhood awake with our music. Why not be downtown when there's nobody around? But I guess there was. Because I guess there's like living situations in the upper levels of the buildings.
Oh yeah. Well, it was funny too because both you and I, we worked night shift, I think.
Yeah, probably.
When we talked to that cop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we got off shift. And it was like 1 a.m. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you guys doing out here so late?"
I remember you had to ask the officer if you can turn down the music to hear him, and he was talking over the music. He didn't ask to put down the music. You had to make sure is it okay if I turn it down so we can chat?
Oh well, that was out of respect for an officer, though. That
no, that's completely fine. But from what I remember, he wasn't asking you to. So when you started making those movements, you made it clear that that's what you're doing instead of reaching in for anything else.
Oh yeah.
But he already had his hand on the holster, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, are you kidding me? He asked if he can turn on the music. What do you think is going to pop out of that little BMW? Come on.
Well, I think it's more what might be in my pocket.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think it was too much for us standing outside the car to begin with. Right.
Yeah.
It was just too much. And then there's times where I would hang out with our mutual friend Kayla. We would be singing late at night and cops rolled up. It's like, oh, Somebody called, said somebody was singing over here. We got two, maybe I don't want to say 3 patrol cruisers roll up on us because we were singing
on it, yeah.
Boys to Men at the train station. What?
Right?
I find that so hilarious. And not to like pick and prod too much at the police. They do a good job, I think. But there's certain times where like I gotta ask them one day if that ever happens again, and 3 police cruisers come up to me and a friend, and because we were singing too late or something, I'm gonna be like, hey, not to like pick on you guys, but were you guys bored? Everybody showed up to a call. What code is that? We have a 358. I don't know.
We've got people singing.
We have people singing.
Sounds like freedom.
Horn. Yeah, sounds like. It sounds like freedom. Oh, that's too funny. It sounds like freedom.
Well, no, personally, I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but especially because of the level of caring going on in the world right now, I feel like there should be a way. It's like, no, whoever called us out to investigate these teenagers singing in a public parking lot at a train station for fun. Yeah, like we should find that person and be like, hey,
countersue.
Warning. Like, well, maybe, but like
sue them for making us uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Fire with fire, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have even gotten out of their car or even driven past the parking lot unless they were called out. Like that's the big thing.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm happy that they told us that they were honest. I'm like, oh, somebody called us because people were singing over here. I'm like, we were singing "End of the Road" by Boys. We were singing "Boys to Men," man. You think they would be like, sing louder, like not
right?
Not like, oh, can you shut them up?
And I can hear the call now. They're rapping and angry singing, and I think one is like head banging.
I would understand if it was like, die police, whatever, like something super annoying, but I'll make love to you when you want me. How is that?
I don't know, even if you didn't know the song, you'd be like, hey.
Music. Yeah, if anything, you'd be like, oh my God, like there's these kids enjoying themselves over at the park. Let me go ahead and call the police to stop that. Jesus. Anyway, so we're an hour and 22 minutes in. We're using up to 2 free hours from StreamYard. This is powered by StreamYard. Make sure okay, hold on. Is it over here? Am I pointing the right way?
No.
So when you lift up your left hand, I think. Okay, lift up your left.
This is my left.
You're pointing at it.
Oh, okay. For me,
it's like for me, it's going to be that way on the other corner.
Yep.
And for you, it's right there. Anyway, we're trying to. Yeah. StreamYard, powered by StreamYard. They do pretty much amazing work. I think they have some sort of audio processing in the software that they use. So actually, if you're using like on your phone, it should come up pretty nice. It should pick up pretty well. I fortunately have a studio set up for myself, so it's obviously going to sound like a radio show.
A little bit,
just a little bit. Yeah. So this podcast is called Over Whiskey and Wine because one, we were drinking a little bit while having a conversation. And then now we're having a conversation and making it public. So if we say something that you don't like, change the channel because I don't think we're going to change anything. At least I'm going to try not to. I'm trying not to censor myself, especially, when I drink a little bit. But I don't know. I might say something stupid. I might say something that gets me canceled. But I like to believe that we have good intentions. We have, I don't think we're going to say anything that, I'm Mexican, you're Filipino. What racist thing can we say right now? We should be fine. Racism, I think we're covered. Economics, we're not professionals. Just so you know, we're not professionals.
It's opinion. This is an opinion piece for entertainment purposes only.
For any financial risk you take from our advice is your risk alone. Yeah, I think we'll keep it as simple as that. And if obviously, I think we should probably have a guest next one. So I'll ask around and see who wants to join us. Because I think it'd be kind of cool if we have somebody who flies drones, or if I know a police officer that wants to join us. You know, a police officer, somebody. You know, like I feel like we talked about certain things that it'd be nice to ask a professional about those things. I know you work for Idlers as a appliance technician. Maybe there's a plumber out there that you want to, talk shit about, or at least bring on and talk shit too.
No, actually, yeah. My time at Idlers, it was actually really good. We got along really well. I won't use his name, but there is one contractor that called me a liar. We probably should not have him on the show.
We should have him on the show. Let's do it. Reach out. Hey, we got a podcast show called Over Whiskey and Wine. We would love to have you. You have to provide so when we have a guest, we should call it BYOB. Bring your own beer or bring your own beverage. Like that's
there you go.
Bring your own beverage with so and so.
There you go. That's even if the guy has a job anymore. He was cussing me out. He was cussing out his customer. He was cussing out my boss.
All the more
that reason. Was a crazy day.
Yeah, all the more reason, man. This is about talking about these things. Did I get louder? I got louder somehow. I
don't think so.
I hear myself more.
Well, plus now I'm a state over, so I can't really. We would just be yelling at each other.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, any final thoughts? Anything else you want to mention on this episode of Over Whiskey and Wine? Obviously, thank you for whoever listened for an hour and 26 minutes. You're a trooper. You're either born crazy or in love with us. So thank you for all those.
We love all of it.
Yeah. Anything you want to end the show with? Any quote? Maybe. I don't know if you want to read the back of your Jameson bottle. It's up to you.
Well, technically, it just says keep going.
Oh shit.
No. Especially with the way things are right now, I can only say parting words. Take everything with a grain of salt and calm down. Stay calm.
Stay calm. Take a sip. Get a 2-finger pour. And have a good day, everybody. I'll see you guys. I mean, we'll try to do it weekly. If not, at least bi-weekly. Because we got to find guests. I feel like we got to find a guest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We'll ask some people around. I have a couple people in mind who would just it would be fun to have them on there and, shoot the shit, whatever. But
oh, yeah.
We'll go from there. All right, man.
All right.
I'm going to end the recording. And thank you, powered by StreamYard, for
thank you all
for giving us 2 free hours.